This is going to be a cool little segment so that we can answer your questions, give stuff back to you. That's the whole point of this. So, and what we're going to do with this is each week on Wednesday at 2 o'clock Eastern, I'm going to answer questions about what we have as far as products, what products can do, pretty much a whole array of things that may come up and that we get in from social media and from our dealers. So here we go. Let's get started with the first question of the day. The first question of the day is, what is the brightness of the Forza 60B? This is from Jack in Chicago. Thanks, Jack. So the brightness of the Forza 60B, the nice thing about that light is that it's very bright for what it is. It's that same small compact size that we have with the regular Forza. And it really is a cool little light. It's got great color too, 98 CRI and about a 96 TLCI. So really and truly a strong light. That's either on the 32 or 56 color side, depending on which way you're going with the Forza 60B. But let's answer the real question. How bright is it? So at 3200 Kelvin, at 1 meter, it's 1919 lux. Now that's pretty bright right there at 3 feet. At about 6 feet or 2 meters, you're looking at 480 lux, and about 3 meters or right around 10 feet or so, 224 lux. Now that's on the 3200 Kelvin side. On the 5600 Kelvin side, we have at 1 meter, 2246 lux. At 2 meters, you're looking at 564 lux. And then again, roughly 3 meters or around 10 feet, you're looking at about 263 lux. So it's a bright little light that gives you a lot of punch in a little package. That's what I like to say. So this is really cool when it comes to being able to have a nice little light like that. All right, so jumping over to our next question. Question number 2, is the new Forza 200 bicolor? This is from Kim in Seattle. Thanks, Kim. Appreciate the question. So the new Forza 200 is not bicolor, I'm sorry to say. It's strictly a daylight fixture, but that means it's extremely bright. It's a really bright fixture. It's just 5600 Kelvin, like its brothers and sisters, the 60, the 300, and the 500. And it's a nice light in a small footprint. That's what's cool about it. So remember with the Forza 200, it looks a lot like our 300 and our 500, but just a little bit smaller. And the cool thing about it is on the 200 with the sled, you only have a single battery use if you need it. So you can just use the 26 volt battery. It's nice that it uses one battery for that, or you can use the 14.8 if you want to. It's just not going to be as bright. And remember that right now, only the Forza 60B is our only bicolor fixture. Question number 3, do the new Nanlite lanterns fit all standard bowens mounts? Well, yes, they do. So the new lanterns themselves, this is the 80 and then the 120, and then we have one for the 60. Now, these are really cool, and it's going to give you kind of a close-up of what the lantern looks like up when it's attached to the light here, and just gives you an easy bowens mount setup for being able to fit those lanterns right back into what it is that you're trying to do. They fit with all the 200, 300, and 500 standard bowens mounts that we have. So the 80 or 120, you can easily put in either one of those. And then the 60, which is a smaller, more square lantern, will fit into the 60 or the 60B. So those lanterns are all going to work for everything that you need. Remember, all those lanterns come with the actual valance or the drape that goes around it, so you can actually aim that light a little bit better. What lights do the RC1 remote control work on? This is from Kevin in North Carolina. Thanks, Kevin, for the question. And so the RC1, which I happen to have right here, RC1 controls pretty much all Nanlite fixtures with the exception of the Luma pads and the compacts from the 100 size down to the 20. Now that reason is those don't have a digital interface for this to be able to hook up to wirelessly. So those are strictly local control that you're going to have to turn the knobs on at the fixture. But the other fixtures, such as the Compact 200 or the mix panel or these other ones, this guy right here will actually control variable color temperature for you. So let me turn it on real quick. And this actually allows you to control if you're using, let's say, a Pavotube, you can go from 2700 Kelvin up to 6500 Kelvin and be able to control that and bring that up or down from 0 to 100. Same if you're going to use the Compact 200 or maybe you're using a Forza. All those things can be controlled with this actual little remote control. And this will actually give you the ability to bring it from 0 all the way to 100. Now, one of the side questions that I get with this right here is the fact that I actually people ask me, can I turn the light on or off with this remote control? My answer to that is no. You have to turn the light on or off at the fixture if you want to be able to do that. Just remember that you can use this little remote right here to turn it from 0 to 100, so you can bring it all the way down to, or bring it all the way down to 0 if you need to. So question number 5, what Pavotube is best for interviews? This is a good question. So the best Pavotube for doing interviews is actually all of them. So whether you're using the 15C, the 30C, or the new 6C, it's up to you. All of them are great for being able to do with that. If you want to do, let's say, a little quick interview, you can use a Pavotube if you want to use it for like key light, or for maybe a backlight, or even for a fill light. Or you can use it in the background environment so that you're able to actually turn something on and add a little detail, maybe a little color or something like that. Or you can just use it for whatever you want. I happen to have Pavotube 6C here with me. So basically, I mean, a great little fill light, a great little key light if I want something like that, or I can put it behind me and actually add a little something to my hair, give myself a nice little halo if I want to. But this really and truly allows you to be able to kind of create whatever it is you want to. And if you want to go a little crazy and add some color to it, you can do that for background light as well. But in answering the question, the Pavotubes are great for interviews. They really are. Actually, I'm using one right now above my head to actually light me for this setup right now. So they're good little lights to use, easy, able to put pretty much any place that you want to, and that's what makes them as versatile as they are. And what differentiates Nanlite products, especially in the area of product quality, from its competitors? And he's basically saying, why is Nanlite better than, say, some of the other brands that are on the market? Well, there's a lot of differences, and there's a lot of things that make it superior, Paul. One of the big things is the fact that it's got a 3-year warranty on it. So, I mean, pretty much that's unheard of in the lighting business right now. The fact that it's very much studio quality lighting fixtures at a price that everyone can afford really differentiates us from a lot of people. And it is the fact that these lights are quality fixtures. I mean, they're using high CRI LEDs. They have really good color, and they're affordable. That's really and truly the ones I can think of right now. The difference between bicolor and RGB color. So you'll hear me throwing around some things about the difference between variable color, bicolor, and RGB. So let's talk about the 3 differences. Typically, we say variable color because it's a range. So we go from 2700 Kelvin to 6500 Kelvin on the Pavotube 15 and 30C. Now on the 6C, we actually go from 2700 Kelvin all the way up to 7500 degrees Kelvin. And we also do that on the mixed panels. So that gives us a variable range. Typically on the bicolor, so if we use that as an example, we might talk about the Luma pads. The Luma pads actually are a bicolor fixture, and because they go from 3200 degrees Kelvin up to 5600 degrees Kelvin. This gives us a lot of different choices and everything kind of in between. And then lastly, the RGB. Now the RGB is going to be 360 degrees of color. So that's all the different colors that we can use and be able to kind of create a different color palette for whatever it is we're creating in our scene or what it is we're trying to shoot. Thank you guys so much for some of the questions. I really appreciate it. And again, this is something new that we're trying right now so that we're going to see what kind of response we can get back from you, the customers. It's important for us to be available to you to be able to get your questions answered as quick as possible. So leave a question for me. And remember, there's no stupid question. So get it out to me and let's see if we can't get it answered. So thanks so much for joining me today. And I hope you guys get something out of this, and we'll see you next time.